I promise it wasn't me. Good evening, friends. Now the thing is, right, it's quite cold outside and we need to bring some warmth, and warmth comes from hot air, and I can't do it all on my own. So, good evening, friends. Good evening. That's more like it. Good evening and welcome to this very special service from Littleport Village Hall this fine Thursday, the 8th of December. It's special because we've got one of our own up here doing some work for us. But it's also special because tonight every single penny raised from this hall will be going to a very special cause. More about that in a minute. But of course, it would be remiss of me to avoid and ignore all of the usual traditions, because before we get this service started, I'm very much aware that somebody's got a birthday before the next service. Oops, somebody's frowning already. Mr. Cameraman, feel free to pan on that one. I don't mind, because she won't mind, because that's just tough. Oh, wrong side, love, that's it. There she is. Over in Bully's special prize corner, young Samantha will be 22 again. So, of course, without further delay, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Samantha. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. You know, bringing joy into people's lives is what spiritualism is all about. And of course, hello to everyone at home. Hiya, nearly didn't get here tonight. Welcome to this evening. We've got a very special extra tonight, Handycam. That will make sense closer to the time. And also the irony of the name, but that's another story. So Handycam is there, and I've got my pot ready of everyone who's got a ticket. So has everyone got a pink ticket for a reading? Yeah. Excellent stuff. So we're all there and sorted. I know, but it's more about everybody else than me. It's more about everybody else than me. So, yes, of course, tonight it is a little bit different. Something that we played with and toyed with in Circle many moons ago. It feels like a lifetime, doesn't it? It does. But also like yesterday. So one of the things that we toyed with in Circle that Lisa's going to use as a special way of starting off her readings and linking in is flower reading, and not flowers as in pretty with a W, but flowers with a U, as in the powdery stuff. And so more about that later on. But it is, of course, vitally important that we say a big, a humongous, a lovely, a Littleport welcome to the lovely Lisa Snowflake Checkley! And so, friends, of course, we might be having a whale of a time and it might be uplifting, but there are some things that must be done. And one of them is joining together and opening this service in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together, to unite under your banner of love, of hope and friendship, that we might witness your proof and your truth that life is indeed eternal. As we begin this evening, let us remember the reason we are here. For connection, for friendship, for love, for upliftment and laughter, but also that wondrous gift to show that there is only one race and one family in spirit, the human race. And so, as we place this service in your care and keeping, we make the statement as ever, that everything we do will be in love, truth and light. Amen. Now, of course, for everyone at home who's been watching and seen the advert and seen the poster and seen the reason we are doing a fundraiser tonight, it was a great pleasure and privilege to go down to Portsmouth at the weekend and meet some lovely people from my SPTV family and actually put some faces to some names that were 3D. You know, it was nice to be able to do that and see behind them for a change. And one of the people that I met there, who is someone who I mention every single Monday on the show with my lovely co-host Dawn, is Matt Grogan. Matt and Kirsty Grogan, they have the 8 o'clock slot. And yes, Tuesday we did a fundraiser to raise some money for a member of Matt's family. Now, Owen needs a bed. Now, you'd think that would be quite straightforward, but he needs a very specific bed that's rigged up and fitted to connect all of his medical equipment, his medication, all of the things that he needs to keep him alive, frankly. And there are no grants and funding available. And so the SPTV family got together and did a bit of a fundraiser. And I knew another family that would also help. And so everything we take tonight will be going to that fundraiser to help the lovely young Owen get his bed. Now, I'm not as technical and fangled as my producer Richard, so I haven't got a video to show, but anyone at home who wants to help out, there is a link to a PayPal donate page on the advert. Just click it, obviously after the service, and you can chip in if you're able to. And if not, just share, and somebody else might be able to, because it's all about working together and sending out the love. And I've been saying, here we go, now you know where it's kicking in. I've been talking for weeks and weeks and weeks about acts of kindness, about random acts of kindness to strangers and friends, and looking after each other and being that spiritually uplifting people that I know we are. And it's little things like this that we can do to bring a smile to someone's life. But it's still important that we remember that we are living spirit. And we cannot rely all the time on the world of spirit to dive in and fix everything. Because we're here, we can do something. So be it give someone a hug, or make someone smile, tell a joke, take a photo of someone and get the phone to find out how old they are and make them look about 10 years older. All these little things that we can do to have upliftment, love and laughter really, really matter. Now this week, of course, I've been quite busy going all over the place, but the one thing I've noticed wherever I go, there is a theme. People are better than they think. And that really is the whole point of tonight. People are better than they think. Anyone who's come and sit up here will know that it can be quite nerve-wracking, can be quite scary, especially if you know some of the people. I mean, it still amazes me that people sit there. I mean, poor Lisa's like, well, you know, you are the one that I sat with in circle, and you know, I've got to be very careful. It's like, me? Nah. Because we all see each other as ourselves. We all see each other differently. Some of you might have noticed that I've gone through a bit of a makeover this week. You know, I've had a shave, re-pierced my ear, and gone back to the ginger that I used to be. You know, before my teenage years of blacking and blonding my hair so much that it can't remember what colour it originally was. We all go through these various changes in our lives, but we must remember that we are what's inside. And so these difficulties we face, this fear that we face in our lives of not being good enough, of not necessarily getting it right all the time, who cares? All that matters is we try. And all that matters is we care about the being that's on the inside. And if we struggle with that, we've got people around us to remind us who we really are. People who will make us smile, make us laugh, be a shoulder to lean on, smack us round the back of the head when we need it. I've had a few of them over the years. But it's all about that support mechanism that we find by coming together in the warmth and love of each other's company, if not the warmth of radiators. But let us remember, of course, friends, that the most important thing of all is that we care. And that's all that matters. Remember an old phrase that was once given to me by my guide. People only get upset because they care. So if you get upset, you care. If you get upset that you're not doing good enough, you care. That is all that matters. Trying is the key. Irrelevant of success or failure, the effort and the attempt was the most important part. And of course, in this way of life, we prize ourselves on knowledge, on understanding. We know that we don't know it all, but we try and learn when we don't. Einstein, now who'd have thought that Einstein would get mentioned in a spiritualist service, eh? Einstein once said, "A little knowledge is dangerous." And so is a lot. But I would, with the greatest of respect to a very clever man, question that. A little of the wrong knowledge is dangerous. A lot of the wrong knowledge is dangerous. Because we all come together, and whether you call spiritualism or any other way of life a religion or not, we all come together in common purpose, and that is the point. But my friends, when we start putting principles and rules and ideals and morality and focus on all of these different concepts, we have to be careful. Because that's the path to telling people that they are wrong, that they don't matter, that they are in error, that they'll get in trouble. That's not the point. You've all heard me talk about my mate Joshua Carpenter, and everyone uses everything that he spoke about to tell people that they're wrong, especially people like us. Oh, you can't do that, Joshua Carpenter said. Let me tell you a little bit about what my friend Joshua Carpenter did in his life. He healed people. He taught people how to come together and heal others. He also sat in the Garden of Gethsemane and spoke to Moses and Elijah, who'd been dead for thousands of years, so that's another one off the list. But most important, he said, care about each other, love one another, be nice to one another. And that was the most important rule. So anything that doesn't follow that rule, that's the danger. That's the risk. We're all human. We all make mistakes. We all struggle with ourselves and each other. But so long as we care, so long as we try, so long as we do our best, we ain't doing wrong. And that is the knowledge that matters the most. So be good to each other, be kind to one another, love one another, and live it with joy. And God bless you all, and thank you for listening. And so now is the point in our service when we go all the way up to Lincolnshire and get a reading from a man who's going to say, well, I don't know how this is going to tie in this week. And then we'll just argue and say that it does tie in any way, because Spirit are good at things like that. But of course, he's not here this week. So it's back to those magic words. Reverend Alan, are you there? So after 3, 1, 2, 3... Reverend Alan, are you there?
I certainly am. Good evening, Littleport. Good evening, everybody online. I'm not going to say how does this tie in this week. I had no choice about this reading. I tried 3 or 4 others. My printer would not print them. When I tried this one, off it came. And it is called New Earth, The Gift of Free Choice by Trina Graves. In the divine light of New Earth, free choice is truly a gift. Given from God, the all that is, for humanity's consciousness to lift. Each and every single soul has a power within to choose their focus and reality. There is no win or lose. For everything is an experience we come to earth to create, evolving through each life, living through love or hate. Even in the old earth energies, free choice was absolute. God would not override, whether colossal or minute. In 3D Earth, dense duality, the opposite led the way. Good or bad, the positive and negative, which would attract the people to sway. Throughout the belief were throughout thoughts and beliefs were manipulated, feeding the dark ones, making them strong. But old souls and countless lifetimes to the earth began to throng, gathering for the great awakening, shining their divine light-filled rays, aligned with the source within, is their free choice always. The light overpowered the darkness, uncovering the extent of their control, unable to hide with the abundance of light, releasing the power they stole. The seeming battle of the light and dark, prominent for those who awoke. Throughout the pandemic worldwide, revelations made many heartbroke. But from the New Earth perspective, in 5D, there is no end of life. It is all an experience we come to life, to live, learning through all peace and strife. The tragedy and great loss of life, the evil and satanic revealed, all has to be shown to humanity to eliminate and truly be healed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can see your point. That really does tie in this week, Alan. Thank you so much. Lovely stuff. And is it next week you are back? Or the week
Yes,
after?
next week.
Next week. So not
And the
this
week
Sunday, but the
after.
Sunday after. So he'll be here on Thursday, and then it'll be... So we will see you next week, Alan. That is lovely. Thank you.
Okay,
And of
thank
course, well done, actually. You've just reminded me there is no workshop this month because we couldn't get the hall. So don't be turning up on Sunday at 10 or 11, depending on whenever it is people did. There isn't one this week. But there is a drum healing the following Sunday, because I'm going to come, because I want to wind someone up. But yes, so Reverend Alan, as ever, thank you so much, and we'll see you a bit
Welcome.
later on. God bless, mate.
Will do. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Alan! Well, friends, now, of course, is the time in our evening, and I'm on schedule. I'm on schedule. In spite of the rant, I'm on schedule. Now is the time in our service we send out our healing thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. It's also a time of reflection and thought. Thank you for that word, Lisa. It's a time of reflection and thought. And it's also a time to ask for healing for ourselves, because that is vital. And one of the advantages of this way of life is that we can make use of spirit contact by giving us things that we need. So if you are feeling cold and needing a bit of warmth, imagine in your belly a nice, bright, burning candle filling you up with warmth. That's how I was able to stand outside like this earlier on. And it does work because you are asking for help from Spirit. So let's join together and send out our healing thoughts. We will begin with the healing prayer and end with the word Amen. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen. Amen. Thank you, friends. And you know what? It already feels a little warmer and toastier. So thank you all so very, very much. And in a moment, I'm going to be handing over the rest of the evening until around about 9 o'clock to Lisa. Although I'm sure I'll be helping by plucking numbers. If you would. So that's my job sorted. Another job I've sorted, just to... because Tony was wondering how I was going to do this. And so there's a reason, although it's starting to bend around a little bit, but there's a reason that's there and bigger and bolder, because Tony's clever and donated that, so thank you, Tony. But how are we going to have a look
at the flower? Oh, start by muting myself.
There we go, that's dealt with. Just a quick echo, you know, there's nothing like hearing yourself talk. But here we go. This is called Handycam. And so Handycam can come down and actually have a look and show people what the handprints are going to look like that Lisa will be reading. Isn't that clever? So that is Handycam, because it's for the hands and it's a camera. But there you go. And it's also rather handy. So, you know, everyone at home can now see that I'm wearing trainers. So everyone now knows that I wear trainers, because it's usually cut off, but never mind. I don't care. So friends, now is the time in our service when we're going to hand over to Lisa for her demonstration. Should she come to you? Yes, of course. Do answer in a clear voice, yes, no, don't know. Because let's face it, what are you up to now? Oh no, I've muted Handycam, so it's fine. Handycam was causing the echo. Handycam got savaged. So yes, should Lisa come to you? Good question to ask, though. You know me too well. Should Lisa come to you, please answer a clear voice, yes, no, don't know, because let's face it, we're all nosy and want to know what's going on in each other's lives. And of course, if your number gets called out, do come on up and place your hands in the flower. There's wet wipes and a towel available for your convenience and hygiene. But most importantly, send your love and kind thoughts to Lisa throughout this evening. And so I will say it quite proud, quite loud, quite clear. Give a big Littleport welcome to our medium tonight, Lisa Snowflake Checkley! And this is, oh, hang on, if I, yeah, that's it. Oh, there you go. There we are.
So it's a little scary, isn't it, really?
No. All yours, dear.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for coming out on this very, very cold evening. As always with Nick, I've known Nick for about 11 years. You may know that he was one of my spiritual teachers, although I'd been working with spirit for years before. Nick was still one of my primary teachers, so as far as I'm concerned, he's the big boss, although he's my friend as well, so it's rather nice. We also think quite alike a lot, and when Nick asked me to do this, I had to think back, and Nick always makes me reflect on things, and I thought back and I've done palmistry. I started doing palmistry when I was about 14 at school. And I used to read for my school friends, and I also used to read for all the teachers, which was rather interesting, definitely. And it just sort of carried on from there. And I was taught the flower technique during circle. So if you ever get to do circle, particularly with this wonderful man, this is one of the techniques you may use, possibly. I really loved it. And it worked for me, probably because I did the palmistry as well. Let's just hope that I don't disappoint tonight. If I get anything wrong, it's me that's got it wrong and not Spirit. Spirit are very rarely wrong. So a yes, no, and a maybe would be fantastic. And shall we get starting, Maestro?
Absolutely. So the first person to come and stick their hands in it is 3, 4, 6. Wait.
Fabulous.
Stick your hands in there.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could put both handprints in, if possible. That's it. Perfect. Look at that. Oh, wow. That's all right. There you are. Right. Do you want me to leave them there, or do you want me to whiz the tray round? Okie dokie.
This is the point of handicap.
Right.
Oh, they are big hands.
Okay. Right. I also work with a pendulum, guys. I find it helps me concentrate, so hopefully it works. So that's why I've got this. It just helps me concentrate my thoughts. Right. Thank you very much. That's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to turn it round so I don't have to look at it upside down. Right. I've never read for this gentleman, although I have seen you before. I've never read for you, have I? No. I have seen you before. Okay. You've done a lot of things in your life, a lot of different things, both work and in private.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
Yeah. And with you, it's a bit like a thread. One thing leads to another, to another, to another.
I would know I drift really, so yes, I would agree with that.
Right, okay. You've also got a lot of friends in different genres. You've got a lot of different types of friends. You tend to draw people to you because of your personality. I can see a lot of activity sort of round your fingers, but it's not negative, it's actually very positive. It's a lot of good vibes. It's to do with a lot of friends. And would this make sense? Family that are friends as well. Does that make sense?
Friends that are family.
Yeah, friends that are family that you have chosen. You have let into your life. I want to say you have let into your life. Yeah. Right, okay. They've come along at the right time for you.
They seem to, yeah, at certain times.
I also want to say as well that when you are poorly, boy, you are poorly. When you are poorly, you are really poorly. Not just a little bit, you go bonk and you're really quite poorly. But when you are well, you are well. You try to just get up and get on with things. You're that type of person. You try not to let things get you down. You try to present a real positive influence. I can see here on your handprints, they're really firm. So when you do something, boy, you do something. If you say you're going to do something, that's it, you're there. Come hell nor high water, you will fulfill that promise. I want to say that's something you've got from your dad, I want to say. A promise is a promise, and loyalty. If you agree to do something, you will do it to the best of your ability. I tend to think when you were younger, you were a lot busier, both professionally and socially, than you are now. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. Also, it's all right, I'm thinking, sorry, it's not that you're not saying it, because you are, I'm just thinking, was there a point where you did multiple jobs? Does that make sense? Yes. Multiple ways to earn money? Yeah. Right. And they were different things? Yes. You were kind of juggling, I want to say like a juggler, putting all the balls in the air, coming home and then going off and doing something else. And you were also doing, I want to say, shopping for someone. Does that make sense? Food shopping? I do now, yeah. Oh, you do now? Right, food shopping for someone? Okay. I can see pennies as well for the food shopping, but I don't know that it is, but I can see pennies indicating food shopping, going in and out. You have such a wide circle of friends and acquaintances. You are never really alone. You don't feel alone because you have them not living with you, but you have them. You can always contact someone should you need to, if that makes any sense. And I want to say 3 very, very close friends. Does this make sense to you? That you would call on for anything. You have lots of friends, but you have 2 or 3 very, very close friends. You also don't differentiate between friendship between men and women. You have equal friends of both. And with you, when you meet someone, it's that instant, you know whether they've got that connection with you. You're a very spiritual man yourself, otherwise you wouldn't be here tonight. I also get the impression of healing, but as far as I know, I don't know that you're a healer, but I also get the impression of healing. I also get an impression of Native American. I've got a connection with a Native American way of life, the whole spirituality. And what's the business with the snacking? Spirit is saying, ask him about the snacking, and they're doing this, so it's a joke. A little bit. Right, okay, because they're saying, ask him about the snacking. Right, so that's a thing at the moment, is it, the snacking? Ah, right, okay. You're a very straightforward man. What you say is what you mean. You would never be unconsciously rude to someone or nasty. You would try every way you can to solve a problem diplomatically. I want to say you're good at this, but not in a nasty way, as in the communication way. You're very good at the talking. One of your phrases would be, what can I do to help? Yeah? You would say, what can I do to help? What can I do? And if you really can't do something to help, yeah. I also see a connection with trains as well, and I want to say steam trains.
Yes, there's a connection to the steam train.
Okay. Right, okay. And I also want to say a connection to a play park. Now, this may not be a recent play park. This may be because I'm sort of seeing a bit more of an old play park, not like they would have now, where they've taken all the nice stuff away. Yes, you can take that. Right. Yeah. I also want to say you have to watch your kidneys. Because I have a kidney problem as well. And you have to watch your kidneys, I'm being told. They're doing this to me. Watch your kidneys. Don't do naughty things that you shouldn't be doing. I'm being told you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Yes. Right, and you're supposed to do that. They're saying you're a bit lax. Does that make any sense to you? Yeah. Right, okay, because I'm getting the finger now from Spirit, so this is like advice. I'm also getting a connection as well. I don't really understand this, I'm going to say it as it is. Connection to twins. Right, okay. Not sure whether it's boys and boys or girls and boys or girls and girls, but connection to twins. Ah, right, okay. I knew you were trouble because you're like my husband, he's a twin as well. Right. I'm also getting a connection as well about moving when you were younger. Does that make a moving places geographically? No, you haven't got that. Leave that with you because I'm getting a connection with you, and it's either moving geographically or moving a job to place. But when you were younger, not now. Not within the last sort of 5-10 years. Okay, right. Right, okay. I'm being ask about Christmas Eve. Are you doing something special Christmas Eve? Spirit is saying, ask him about Christmas Eve. Okay. Well, maybe that's Spirit's way of saying get something organised, but they're saying ask him about Christmas Eve. So you may well get an invite to somewhere for Christmas Eve. I'm also getting as well the Spirit is saying when you sit down to watch telly, you're supposed to get up and do something and you don't want to do it and you keep putting it off. And keep putting it off, putting it off, and putting it off. Does that make any sense to you? And then they're saying eventually he goes out and does it. But that's after about an hour and a quarter. Right, okay. And something about leaving a light on. Something, I don't know now, I think this was when you were younger, maybe teenager. Something about somebody had to leave a light on somewhere.
No, I was always made to switch it off. My sister was
Ah, right, okay. Because it said about light switch, I'm going like that. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, I hope that was okay for you. Thank you very much for working with me. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you. Right, let me just clear the...
I was going to say, give it a wiggle. Give it a shake. Three,
All right,
four,
there you are.
oh. 3, 4, hey! Righto. Up you go, dear.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Right, we might have to bring this over a little bit, mightn't we? How can we do this? That's it. I don't know. Brilliant, thank you so much. Right. You're going to like this because you're going to get your hands all wicky. Is it cold? Sorry about that. Right, okay. Right, there you are. And we've also got wet wipes as well. So you can all freshen up, young man. They are beautiful. Doesn't matter if they're little, they're beautiful. Right. Is this young man Riley? Are you Riley? Is that right? George. George. Right, okay. George. Right. George, are you ready? Are you ready? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Right, okay, George, you like swapping and changing, don't you? Does George like swapping and changing? Changing his mind, changing what he wants to do, changing absolutely everything.
I know what to do. I like it. I always know one thing and then goes into another.
Right, okay. So you like swapping and changing, George, but you know what you like, don't you? And you know what you don't like. You're very definite. You don't follow the herd, George. You like to do your own thing. Just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean to say George here likes to do it. Right, okay, Spirit are asking, I don't understand this. I'm going to say it as a spirit are asking me, telling me. George's middle name. Does George have a middle name? Ah, what is it about George's middle name? Because Spirit said, ask about George's middle name. Was it changed? Did you have a couple of middle names? Ah, right, okay. Spirit saying, ask about George's middle name. Right, okay. The first thing I heard when you said George was, I thought, oh, that's a king's name, that is. You like to be king of the castle, George, don't you? You like... Yeah. Likes to be king of the castle? Yeah. You do, don't you? Yeah. You like to have your own way and do your own thing.
I like playing on my phone.
Right. I think George is extremely determined and extremely stubborn. And if George doesn't want to do something, George won't do it. Yeah? However much you get him to do it, and the more you want to get him to do it, the more he won't do it. Yep. So you have to work out, I'm being told that Mum and Dad have to do this. You have to work out different ways to get George to do things. Right, okay. You're a very nice boy, you are. I think you're a very nice boy because it says here. Lots of people, lots of children that you know that are your age like you because you're so smiley, I'm being told. Yeah, and even when you're quite poorly, you're quite smiley, I'm being told. Ah.
I got so many teeth.
You've got 2 teeth, have you? Wow. You are just brilliant, aren't you? So you've got lots of children that really like you, lots of friends in different ways. Does that make any sense? Does George? Oh, does George go to different, as well as school? Does he go to a different club as well? He doesn't go to school, but does he have friends from different areas? Does that make any sense? Different. He's got friends from here. Right, okay. Spirit are also asking, I don't understand this, so I'm going to say it, maybe George will understand. What's going on about the breakfast cereal? Does that make any sense? The breakfast cereal. Does George have breakfast cereal? Does he not like it?
He won't eat it.
Ah, right. You won't eat it? Oh. They said ask about the breakfast cereal. Right, okay. So you don't want it? Oh. George likes to do something else at breakfast time, but not eat. Does that make any sense? Right, okay. Right, he doesn't like to stop because he'll miss something, basically. Right. George is actually quite creative and artistic when he wants to be, but that lasts about 5 seconds because he's on to something else. Yeah. George, you like to do lots of different things, don't you?
I like drawing.
You like drawing, do you? Yeah, he's really actually really artistic, they're saying here. Spirit is saying he's really artistic until he gets bored and then he wants to do something else. So it's like, on to something else. Then it's... Right, and then he's on to something else. Okay. Construction toys.
Yep.
Yeah? Go, I'm getting... Yeah, like this. Yeah, construction toys, and the Spirit saying like this. Does that make any sense? And you don't like anybody touching your toys, do you? You say, no. You don't like anybody touching your toys.
I shut my door.
You shut your door so nobody can play with your toys? What's to padlock the door? I'm also getting an affinity to something green, and I don't know what it is. I thought it was bedding, but I might be wrong. I thought it was a duvet. Something like that, something bedding-wise that's green.
A Hulk. A Hulk.
The Hulk, the favourite character, the Hulk.
Oh, is it? Green?
It was Lego.
On Lego, it's a Hulk, the strong man, the Hulk.
Ah, right, okay, so it's the Hulk. Oh, right, well done.
But Sam,
Yeah, he's green, isn't he? Yeah, the Hulk's green. Yeah, right.
that's Sam, man.
Brilliant.
Back there.
Right, okay, and what's this about? George, what's this about the Christmas list? What's going on with that? Right, okay, it's like that little boy with the advert and it's all the pictures.
He writes something and then he goes on to the next thing and there's absolutely loads of stuff on the list.
Right, okay.
I know what
And have you made something for the Christmas tree? Has George made something to go on the Christmas tree as well? Something? Right, okay. Is it a bauble or something he's made?
It's just all decoration, it's a circle photo decoration.
Okay, absolutely brilliant. Because I wanted to keep going like that, like a circle, and that sort of size. Yeah.
Circle, but it's made out of salt dough. You know when the
Oh, I know salt dough. That's brilliant stuff. Yeah.
flour
Ah,
oven and he's painted.
did you all by yourself? Well, you're a bit of a superstar, aren't you?
I done all that with my mummy helped me.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, George. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas.
Thank you.
You're
You're
welcome.
our angel.
And you've got an angel. That's me. I'll be the angel.
Got angel on the tree.
Oh.
And like on there.
Oh. Right. Right, there you are. I'll put my quiz.
Our next victim, recipient.
Yeah, no, it's great. It sounds more effective, doesn't it?
348. 348.
Right. Right, there you are. I might have to move that over so. Brilliant. Thank you so much. That's absolutely. Yeah, everybody keeps saying that. It's okay, because I haven't had to touch you, so that's fine. Right, okay.
Well, it's nice to see you've got an opposable thumb.
I like this.
Okay. Right, I've never read for this gentleman either, and I want to say gentleman. I think you're a bit of a force to be reckoned with at times. You have very strong thumbprints here, very forceful thumbprints. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. It might take you a while, but once you make your mind up, by heavens, you're there. You are totally there once you've made your mind up. You're actually a really good communicator, you're really good with written word, and you're really good at listening. You've got a whole lot more talents and qualities than you would give yourself credit for. You wouldn't ever be shouting with a megaphone saying how wonderful you were, but other people would say that you were brilliant. You have really, really fabulous qualities. You're generous, you're kind of heart. You think deeply about things. If you have a problem, you will think really, I want to say you want to go inwards almost to think about this, your problems. It sounds really odd, but you sort of, you look deep inside yourself almost to sort of solve the problem. In the past, I don't think it's recent, I don't think it's now or recently, but in the past you've been hurt quite deeply by others, particularly with the spoken word. I want to say this with gossip. Does that make sense? That is not now. That was in the past and you've moved on, I'm being told. You've moved on from all that. You're the better person. I'm being told you feel, you know, you're the better person, you've moved on. You've got regrets, but you felt that you had to move on to put it behind you. Yeah? You're in a better place now than you were. I'm being told you have better support around you. I don't know what that means, but you've got better support around you than you had at that time. You worked with what you had when you were younger, but now you've got the support system, and you've also got, I want to say, support system with friends and family. And you're able more to deal with things. I want to say you can almost put things in boxes. Does that make any sense? Problems into boxes, and separate them from what you are currently doing. Or ignore them. I like that. That works for me. That works for me. Right. Okay. I don't understand this, but I'm going to say it like it's been explained to me. You're either extremely busy or you're not. Does that make any sense? So you're either rushing about here, there, and everywhere like a lunatic, or you're just not. It's like I want to, yeah, if that makes any sense to you at all. I'm also getting a connection to more than one vehicle. Does that make any sense at all? Right, more than one vehicle. Right, okay. I'm being told you value people more than you used to because you have the right people around you now. You didn't before. Does that make any sense? So you've got the right people around you now that you value, and you know value you too. Spirit are telling me you're much better at judging people's character than you used to be. I'm also getting a connection now. I want to do this with writing, and I also want to do this with a book. So I don't know if there's anything particularly going on where they're at the moment. But you understand that, yeah? Yeah. So book and writing. I'm ever so sorry, it's like give us a clue, isn't it? But yeah, a book, writing, yeah, very relevant at the moment to you. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Right. There was a period of time, not recently, when you were younger that you weren't very well. Does that make sense to you? You're quite, I want to say, I'm not going to go into details, but I'm going to say quite unwell. Yeah. Yep. But you've not, and you've put that in the past and you've moved on. Okay. I'm being, right, this is very strange. I'm being asked to ask you about the vitamin tablets. Right, okay, they're saying ask him about the vitamin tablets. Right, okay. Yeah. I'm also getting as well a connection with you and with boats, but I want to say yachts type boats. So it'll either be you or family or very close friends, a connection with boats, sailing on the water. You know, where you do Henley Regatta and you have the nice boats, that type of thing. Yeah, maybe you'll get one. Yeah. So you can't think of anything offhand at the moment? Okay. Right, okay. Keep that in case you can recollect that. I just get that affinity with you, with sailing, yachts, the water. Yeah. That type, being outdoors by the water, all types of water, I want to say. So, even waterfalls. I don't know why I said waterfalls, even waterfalls. A significant place, possibly? Yeah, if you can. Right, you can take that, because I want to say the water splashing on the stones in the sunlight and all the the old pictures in your mind, and that's relevant to you. That would be your peaceful place. Okay, right. I'm also getting as well, I'm going to say it, Postman Pat. Does this make any sense to you? No? Keep that just in case. So it's either somebody who worked for the Postal Service or something to do with Postman Pat. I'm going to say it because it's here and they keep saying Postman Pat, which is very strange, but you never know. This is where you get a little van for Christmas or something from somebody. Also getting a connection with something with problems with their feet. Yeah. Can you take that? And I would say both feet, not just one foot. Yes. Right, okay. And I want to say it's the whole of the foot up to the ankles. Yeah. Right, okay. I don't know whether that's you or not, but it's to do with the feet. Yeah. You get cold feet? Right, okay. You've got some nice Postman Pat socks. There you are, nice Postman Pat socks there. Right, okay. Yeah. I'm also getting a connection, I don't understand this, I'm going to say it like it is, a connection to a scarf. They're saying, ask about the scarf. Ah, right, it goes round a lot, yeah? Right, okay, absolutely fabulous. Well, thank you very much for working with me. You were absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much.
Drum roll, please. 339. 339. There we go.
Right.
And let's activate handy cam.
Oh, right. I'm ever so sorry, people keep saying the flower's cold. Right, there you are. If you could put both hands in. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Right. Right. Okay, I've never read for this gentleman, have I? I've never read for you at all. Right, okay. Right, okay. You're a worker and a half, aren't you? You have worked. You've worked. When you worked, boy, did you work hard. I would say you did the work of at least 2 people, and you were diligent. You were there on time. You did your share, you went home. You were there, first one there, last one leaving. Right, okay. I want to say that you worked with your hands. Does that make any sense? Yeah. But I think you did a couple of jobs where you worked with your hand over the years. I don't think you just did one job where you worked with your hands. I think you did 2. Does this make any sense? Yeah. Right, okay. I'm not even sure if they were connected. But you were a hard worker. Do you have early morning starts when you did your... Yeah, when you work. Okay, right. Absolutely brilliant. Right. You're quite a practical man. You were more practical when you were younger, but you've always been quite practical, quite good with your hands, even from an early age, I want to say. You had a positive role model when you were young that taught you skills. Positive role model when you were young, I want to say Dad did stuff around the house. and taught you. With you, I get the overriding family. I get overriding family. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. I want to do this with my hands clasped, like family are the most important thing, and you would put your arms around to protect them. And it's always been family to you. You take your promise very seriously. Very seriously. Promise. Man of few words. Right, but you think quite deeply. You also watch. You're very observant. Very observant. You won't say 15 words, you'd say 3, because they were the words that counted. And they really count with you. You're very pure of heart. Very pure of heart, man. You don't like praise, you don't accept praise. You always put the praise on somebody else. But it's you quite often. If people give you praise, you get embarrassed. You don't like it. Also getting like the gentleman over there, when you were younger, you went through a period of time where you were quite unwell. I want to say quite small. You were quite young. Yeah. Not for as long as the gentleman over there, but you still had a period, I want to say like a bubble. There's like a bubble in your handprint. It's like a bubble of not being very well when you were little. I want to say under 10 possibly. Does that make any sense? But you were okay. You got over that. Right, brilliant. I also want to say, I don't believe you were an only child. I think there was a brother. Does that make sense? Right, okay. Spirit was saying that when you were little, there was one and one brother there. Does that make sense? One brother was tall and one brother was short. Yeah? I don't know if it evened out. Ah, but you and your brother was one tall and one... Ah, right, okay, because they're saying that one was... And one was... Right, okay. Spirit is saying you're not alike. Does that make sense, you and your brother? You don't look alike. Right, okay, let me see if I can get anything else. And you don't really think alike. I'm being told that is he quite loud? Is he a lot louder? He's not. He's a lot different, okay. Because I usually get that when somebody's quite excitable and loud, but it could be that he's just more chatty. Quite. Right. Right, this is quite interesting. This is about your personality. So it says that you let people talk first. You're a real gentleman, and you stand back and let people talk first. You give people time. I want to see. Spirit keeps saying he gives people time. Time. I also get reference as well to a dog. I want to say like about this high. Not now. Not a dog now, but a dog in your past. Does that make any reference? Right, fabulous. Right, brilliant. But that's not now. No, that was before. Right, okay. And also, this is very strange. A reference to the TV show Crackerjack. Does that make any sense to you? You can remember it, but it doesn't. You can't think of anything. Keep that in case. But I'm getting a reference to Also reference to children's shows with cowboys and Indians. I want to keep doing this. Does that make any sense? Right, okay, keep that just in case you do. But I want to say cowboys and Indians and Stetsons and stuff. Ah, right, okay. Did you have a Stetson? Did you have a little cowboy hat? Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Right, okay. The truth is very important to you. You don't like things that are unfair in life, and you don't like it when people don't tell the truth, when people make up things. You personally, you don't like that. That is something that you can't stand. And if you find that someone has not told you the truth, you won't trust them again. For you, that would be like a betrayal. Does that make any sense? Right, okay. I'm also getting a reference to a little finger as well, and I don't understand that. Yeah, something to do with a little finger. You haven't damaged one of your little fingers, have you?
I have done in the past.
You have done in the past. Because I want to keep doing this, like a little finger's hurting or playing up. Does that make any sense? Right, hang on. Which little finger did you hurt? Because I've got this one. Ah, right, because I've got this one. That's what I wanted to do. Ah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for working with me.
Thank you. Well done. Unfortunately, we've run out of time because you've used it all up.
Oh no! Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Snowflake Checkley!
Thank you.
I'm not grabbing you. Grab your hair though. I was going to say, I don't want to yank that out. Bless you. Well done, my lovely. Now, so I'm not on the outskirts. Oh, fine. Do you want me to walk that? I will. I don't know. Well done, my darling. Thank you for a truly evidential and uplifting evening. And it just goes to show what you can get out of a plate of flour. There are many different devices that you can use to develop your abilities. Flour, you can substitute for sugar if you're feeling a little bit peckish. If you're feeling like you can't risk it, like Barry's about and he wants one of his snacks, you can use sand. That was what I first started using. And there are so many others. I'm reminded, of course, that once upon a time I used shoelaces. I actually think I gave you a shoelace reading in the office one day, long time ago. And of course, you can use pictures, like in caustic art. Mum's already got her Christmas present early, bless her, because I got a pack of perceptionary cards at the weekend, because it reminded her of Hannah's art. So you never know. If you do a pack of 52, you could probably make your own cards as well to read. There we go, you see. But you're definitely only allowed to use 3 colours on those ones. We've got the target this week. Oh, right, well, we better move on to that bit very quickly then. But truly, Lisa, thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Lisa Snowflake Checkley! Now I hear the kettle calling with boiling water warmed, but first we've got to do something before I'll get in trouble, so here we go. This week's Bully Special Prize with, yes, drum roll please, we got there only 3 colours of purple, silver and gold. Perfect colours too. There we go. You can print screen. Oh, let me just get the light on it. There you go. Print screen now. and then you've got your own copy of it. And this, of course, will be the main event in the raffle. And, you know, you can have it at different angles and different lights, and you can see so many different things in it, and it is wonderful. And that is how you do it. Yep. And so, yes, truly wonderful, 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 wonderful. Right, so friends, who is the medium next week? Linda. Oh, so another, so another one of our own. It's December, we're keeping it. The cheapest one comes on the last one of the year. Just don't ask him for a refund. But yes, so next week we've got the lovely Linda Rose, who will be joining us. Again, because let's face it, she's here pretty much every other week when she's not got her own church to run. So that will be another lovely, lovely evening, and keeping it in the family in December, I think. So wonderful, friends. The time has come to say our closing prayer. So let's join together as we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together, to feel the upliftment, love and laughter and light of being together. Let us remember that healing comes in many forms and fashions, be it a word, a smile, a hand or a laugh. We know that we can help each other move forward in love, in light and in truth. And I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present and the friends and families that they represent, that they might come together again soon in your light, the light of truth and upliftment. And so until we meet again, in your name, amen. Lovely. Everyone enjoys the amen in this church. I think it's wonderful. So friends, we are going to have our raffle. So in a moment, it's going to be time to say goodnight. Message from Trace. There we go. Lovely work, Hannah, and loving the three colours. There you are, you see. And Ivy says hello and hope everyone is well. And of course, it's time to say goodnight to everyone so that we can A, have a raffle, and B, go and get something nice and warm inside of us. So that will be very careful. The gutter is prevalent in this church. In the form of right, okay. So after 3, everyone at home. I can see which side of the church is forming the naughty side. So once again, a big thank you to our medium. Oh, help me. A big thank you. Yeah. A big thank you to our medium for this evening, Lisa Snowflake Checkley. To all of you, thank you for coming out in the cold. It is much appreciated. I will do a post a little bit later on to let you know how much we've raised. But for everyone at home, from all of us here in Littleport, 1, 2, 3, good night, and God bless you all.